Hey everyone, what is going on? My name's RedCast, and in a rather surprise turn, we are now about to see the end of the Scarface Character Pack for Payday 2. The DLC is about to be removed from the Steam, Xbox One and PlayStation 4 stores, and once it's gone, it will be gone for good. We're going to go through the post, talk about it a bit more in depth, but before we do that, as always, you know how we work around here. Let's roll the intro. So as I said in the opening, this is about the removal of the Scarface Character Pack from the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Steam stores. We're going to start off by reading the post that was made by Almir earlier today, which is titled, Last Chance to Buy Scarface Character Pack for Payday 2. A link to this post will be in the description. It was posted on both the Steam forums and the Overkill website, but they're both the exact same post, so I'll only link one of them, obviously. But the post reads, Dear Heisters, we want to inform you that the Scarface Character Pack will no longer be available for sale from the 1st of October. This DLC will still be playable as normal in the game after the 1st of October by owners who previously purchased it, but new purchases of the DLC will not be possible. To help current PC players pick up this DLC before purchase is disabled, we at Overkill have decided to put it on sale with a 30% discount up until the 30th of September at 11:59 PM Pacific Standard Time. And so there's our confirmation. This is the Scarface Character Pack that will no longer be available for purchase. So the heist is not in question here. That's worth mentioning. The Scarface heist is not going to be removed off the store. You can still purchase that. It's just the Character Pack. So first off, let's clarify platforms once again. This applies to PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. I know this post doesn't confirm it. It should really say all platforms that it exists on rather than just kind of going, it's being removed, putting it on Steam, and then saying there's a PC discount. So basically, if you play Payday 2 on PC, Xbox One, or PlayStation 4, and you don't own the Scarface Character Pack, you need to purchase it before or on the 1st of October. If you don't, you'll never be able to purchase it again. But what are you losing in this DLC pack? Well, obviously, you won't get access to the Scarface character anymore. You won't be able to play as Tony Montana in Payday 2 if you don't buy this DLC pack. However, you will also lose the ability to purchase the Little Friend 7.62 Assault Rifle, which also comes with this character pack and is also shown in the gameplay for this video. And if my experience in recording this is anything to go by, it's one of the most fun assault rifles to use in the game. Something else you won't be able to buy anymore will be the Lumberlight L2 chainsaw melee weapon, which I know it's a melee weapon, not everyone really cares about those, but I'm still mentioning it anyway in case it interests you. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, you will also no longer be able to purchase access to the Kingpin perk deck. It was one of those perk decks that replaced your throwable with a specific device that you would use in your gameplay to give you a special ability from time to time, as well as providing you with a notable increase to your base health overall. And you can see it in my gameplay. You stab yourself with a loaded injector and it reduces the damage you take from enemies for a specific period of time by quite a large amount. I think it's 75%, but it might be more when you've maxed out the perk deck. To be honest, I've never really used Kingpin a lot. This video recording is honestly one of the first times I've even used the perk deck. It may even be the first time. For some reason, I've never checked it out. And again, it's something that I've really enjoyed using, so clearly I've been sleeping on something good here. It's not a bad perk deck. It works quite well, and there are quite a lot of people who really enjoy using it. And so all of this is in the character pack, so you lose access to Tony, the gun, the melee weapon, and the perk deck. So if any of those things interest you, after the 1st of October, you will not be able to buy them. However, that does not impact people who have already bought the DLC, or people who buy it before or on the 1st of October. If you buy the DLC while it's available, then once it's taken off the store, you'll still be able to use everything. You'll still be able to play as Tony, use the perk deck, the gun, everything. It's only you won't be able to purchase it. So you'll lose the ability to buy it, but if you own it anyway, you're absolutely fine. You can use it for as long as you want, and the listing being taken off the store will not impact you. So if you own the DLC, or you buy it after you see this video, you're fine. You keep it for as long as you play Payday 2. Don't stress. But speaking of purchasing the DLC, as the post I read out said, PC players are currently able to get the Scarface Character Pack for 30% off the original asking price. However, this is not the only platform that's currently seeing a discount for the DLC. The Xbox One version of the DLC is also currently reduced to half price. And that offer is going to last for another 8 days on the Xbox Store, taking us right up to when the DLC will get removed from the Xbox Store. But on PlayStation, I currently cannot see a discount. This might change with the news coming out, and it might be that the offer came out early on Xbox, or it could just be convenient that Xbox happened to have a sale at the same time. I don't know. If there is a change to whether PS4 gets a discount or not, I'll either post something in the YouTube community tab, or I'll post something over on my Twitter at RedArcherLive. I'll post news on either or both of those platforms if I hear PS4 is getting a discount. Of course, none of this concerns the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions, that should be obvious, but also it doesn't concern the Nintendo Switch, because the Scarface DLC packs, if I remember correctly, were the first DLC packs to not be on the Nintendo Switch version. That version takes you right up until Scarface, but doesn't include it. And even though, as we already know, Switch updates are now about 0.001% likely because it was not made in-house and it costs too much time, money, and effort to basically make DLCs for it anymore, that we're not going to get DLC for Switch anyway. But if at some point, by some miracle chance you do, it will not contain Scarface. The Switch version will never get Scarface, even if it gets anything else, which, as I've said, is pretty unlikely. So now we've talked about the what, let's talk about the why. Why is Scarface being removed from the store? And quite simply, it's down to licensing. It's not something Overkill have outright said, but it's painfully obvious that when a crossover DLC is no longer available for purchase, it's got to be down to some kind of licensing agreement. For people who don't understand, quite simply, when a character from another IP or franchise is brought into a game like Payday 2, there has to be some kind of licensing agreement between the people who own that character's IP and the people who own Payday 2. So Overkill have to talk to Universal, who own Scarface, and come up with an agreement to put him in the game. Goat Simulator, John Wick, any kind of franchise crossover they've done has had to have had some kind of licensing agreement, and a lot of these agreements only last a certain period of time. At the end of it, it's up to both parties to decide whether they extend that agreement or bring it to an end. And so what's happened here is that the Scarface character license has only lasted a few years, and now that it's coming to the end of its license, it's not being renewed. Another question I've seen a few times since this news dropped earlier today is, are any of the DLCs in trouble that were made via these crossovers and licensing agreements? As far as I can tell, no. Everything else should be absolutely fine, because all the other IPs that have crossed over with Payday 2 were owned by companies other than Universal, so it's only a Universal licensing agreement that's come to an end here. The only other DLC that really should have gone should have been the Scarface Mansion, but it hasn't, so you know what they say, count your blessings. Maybe it's because the Scarface character itself is a more important trademark than actually mentioning it in a heist. I don't know, there must be some kind of reason why the heist has stayed and the character hasn't, but either way, everything else, like John Wick, is owned by Summit Entertainment, Hardcore Henry, Safe 2. Basically, as far as I can see, every other DLC pack at the moment is absolutely fine. It could be we never get another problem like this, it could be another one pops up in a month, it could be another one pops up in a year, we don't know. But as far as we know right now, no other licenses are coming to an end for these Payday 2 DLC crossovers. It's just the Scarface Character Pack that we need to be concerned about. And finally, if we're going to talk about Payday 3 for a second, this confirms that Scarface will not be appearing in that game. That should be painfully obvious. As far as I'm concerned, no crossover characters from Payday 2 will be available in Payday 3 at launch. There may be some DLCs that they like John Wick, etc., that they may bring back into Payday 3, but it won't be there at launch, and my firm belief is whatever characters they add, whether they're new or old, they will only be original Payday characters. So Dallas, Chains, Wolf, Hoxton, Sydney, Dragon, Clover, anyone else like that. Only original characters have a chance at reappearing in Payday 3, at least to begin with. After the game's launched and they go into developing post-launch DLC, they can cross over with whoever they like, and who knows, maybe some crossovers might repeat from Payday 2. If people really want to see John Wick come back, or Jacket, or whoever, maybe it'll happen. I just don't see it happening at launch. This just means that in the future, when they do more crossovers, it's unlikely they'll do Scarface again. But that's my full breakdown, including my thoughts and opinions on the removal of Scarface from the PS4, Xbox One, and PC stores for Payday 2. So beyond that, what do you think about the removal? If you don't own the DLC currently, are you now going to purchase it because it's about to be removed? Let me know in the comment section below. If you have enjoyed this video, as always, you know what to do. Please give it a thumbs up, be greatly appreciated, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because it's quick, it's free, and I'll always love you for doing so. Also, I'd like to give a quick little thank you to everyone who's been watching my brand new show, The Redcast. It's a new podcast series I've been doing, in case you haven't checked it out yet, where once every 2 weeks there's a new episode where I bring on a guest from the Payday universe or from somewhere else completely and talk to them about their life, their career, and the things they get up to, that kind of thing. So far, episodes 1 and 3 have both contained Payday 2 characters. Episode 1 brought in Ian Russell, who plays Locke, and the most recent episode 3 that released yesterday brings in Damien Poitier, who plays Chains. The support on all the episodes so far has been greatly appreciated, and I cannot thank you enough. But if you haven't checked it out, make sure you look. There is a playlist on the front page of my channel, and you can also search it up by looking for The Redcast on Spotify. New episodes are published every Monday at 7 PM British Summer Time, but if you want them earlier, you can actually get them 2 days early if you support me over on Patreon. Again, donations are never expected on that platform, but they are greatly appreciated, and plus now you get an extra bonus if you do choose to go over there. If you fancy hearing the episodes early, you get them on Saturdays instead of Mondays. If you fancy being a patron, the link is in the description and on the top right corner of the screen now, but as I've said, that's completely up to you. Just watching and subscribing and liking videos, that's more than enough for me. Either way, I will see you all this weekend with a brand new video. Until then, look after yourselves, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you all soon.